The Beatles have proven to be one of Britain's prime exports. They have brought in more foreign exchange than many industries. After all, they are an industry unto themselves, and the Queen saw fit to reward their economic contribution to the nation. The award entitles the Beatles to put the letters MBE after their names. And what could MBE mean but more Beatle encores? Yeah.
Of course, Paul and Ringo are now Sir Paul and Sir Ringo. But in 1965, Beatlemania was at its peak in the United States and across the pond. From meeting the Queen at Buckingham Palace to meeting the Mets at Shea Stadium, the Fab Four was everywhere that year, making an indelible impact on the music industry and American culture in the process. Let's bring her in now, author and Hollywood historian Laurie Jacobson. Her latest book, titled Top of the Mountain, The Beatles at Shea Stadium 1965, looks back at the group's legendary concert in Queens. A couple things, Laurie, about this. First of all, there is no way to describe to anybody. I was only 2, so I just know this through reading books and being a massive Beatles fan. What a huge cultural event the Beatles live at Shea Stadium was, first of all. Secondly, I've been shocked through the years to find all the people who were actually there. It seems I come across them every year. But talk about that historic night at Shea.
Well, it was absolutely the biggest event in show business history to that date. No one had ever performed before 56,000 people, not Elvis, not Sinatra, nobody. And nobody received the paycheck that they received that night. When you think about it, they walked away with $160,000 in 1965, and that just broke every record there was.
Yeah,
and they only played for 27 minutes.
Right, and it's so funny. David Ignatius, I know you went to a Beatles concert when you were young, but they played, as John Lennon said about the Shea Stadium event, but it was all the tours in 64, 65, and 66. As John Lennon would later say, we go to this massive stadium. We're playing on amplifiers the size of peanuts. Sounds like a jumbo jet. And David, they couldn't even hear themselves playing. It was so loud.
So, Joe, I actually went, and Laurie, to the Beatles' first concert in America. It was February 11, 1964, at what's now known as the Washington Coliseum. It was a tiny little, maybe 3,000-seat auditorium. For a day afterwards, I was picking jelly beans out of my hair. It was a wonderful introduction to the Beatles. But, Laurie, what I want to ask you is, at the time of that Shea Stadium concert, as you look back, was this a band that could have stayed together? We're all haunted by the breakup of the Beatles. Was the band that played at Shea Stadium still locked that they might have stayed and played for, another decade or more?
Actually, that was one of the big surprises to me, that in 1965, at the height of their popularity, I could already see the signs of their breakup and them going their separate ways, particularly John. He loved making music with his mates, but he didn't enjoy being a Beatle. And as a Beatle, he was forced to do things he really didn't want to do. Like, he didn't want to accept that MBE. He thought it was ridiculous for him to do so. And yet he was forced to do it because the other 3 were doing it. Vietnam was heating up. He was getting his activist pants on. And the jackets they wore at Shea were a military style. He didn't want to wear it, but the other 3 were wearing it, so he had to do it. So every time something like that happened, he gave away a little part of himself. Nobody could hear them. As Ringo said, people came to see us. They didn't come to hear us. That was very frustrating for all of them. That's why they only toured one more year. Ringo became the star in A Hard Day's Night, so he was the star of Help. movies, Hollywood was calling him, and he really enjoyed being out in front of the band for a while. So he had something else going on. In Help, George discovered Indian music and flipped out, began his spiritual quest at that time. And Paul just wanted to stay on the road, which is clear because he is still on the road.
Yeah, still on the road, still incredible, it really is something. You look at these photos, and Rev, when you hear the Beatles talking, when you read the interviews, not just about Shea but touring in general through '65 and '66. By '66, it just got so dangerous. It was a grim experience for him, and finally decided enough was enough.
No question about it. One of the things that I wanted to ask Laurie is that were they very competitive? You know, I was very close with James Brown. He was like a father to me, and then I was part of the community affairs. I headed up for Michael Jackson's big '84 tour, and what was always striking to me is they were always watching what other groups were doing. Michael would fill a stadium, and he would say, "Did the Beatles fill this stadium?" How competitive were they, according to your research? Or were the Beatles mindful of how enormously popular they were as compared to other contemporary groups at the time, or did it not matter to them?